Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about my general supplementation recommendations. I am not a big fan of supplements. I think most people realize that. But when I say that, that doesn't mean that I think all supplements are useless or that people shouldn't take any or that there aren't some that are good for health and things. I want to make that clear. I just think that the majority of supplements have been overhyped, overrated, and quite frankly don't work. They're not useful. Okay, that doesn't mean all, and I do need to be very clear there, because there are a few that I recommend. And here's one I'm going to say up front. I've always gone back and forth a little over the years on protein powder, but I've always said, look, it's just protein. It's just food. Okay, it's not special. It's not magical. I don't have a positive or negative view of protein powders. It's simply food. Okay, it's not really significantly different than if you chose to eat chicken breasts or egg whites or whatever else for protein. It's just a high quality protein generally, as long as you get a reputable brand. Now, that being said, the more I've gotten into protein overfeeding and found it very beneficial, like for me right now, I'm cutting, trimming down, trying to recomposition, all of those things. For the first time in a long time, I kind of didn't do any cutting for over a year. Now I'm trying to trim down, get leaner again, and slowly getting there. I am doing a lot more protein overfeeding. So that being said, here's what I will say as far as protein powders go. I think generally for guys who are trying to bulk, or people who are struggling with certain things with appetite as far as having a big appetite, I don't think you need much in the way of protein powders in those situations. However, people who are chasing recomposition, extremely lean gains, losing body fat while keeping all of their muscle or trying to recomp a little while doing so, that's where I think protein powders can come in handy for people who want to eat very, very large amounts of protein. Because simply put, a lot of you don't want to eat 3 pounds of chicken breast every day. Okay, so when we're talking protein overfeeding, I'm generally talking about that 300 plus gram range for men, and getting up even higher. Protein overfeeding could be 400, it could be 500 grams. But when we start pushing past 300, we're getting into that protein overfeeding category, which is not what you're trying to do if you're trying to, say, bulk up, okay, and gain significant body weight, right? It's when we're chasing very small lean gains or recomposition, okay, muscle preservation in a small deficit, or to even try to recomp a little in a small deficit. That's where those really high protein intakes shine. Protein powder can be very, very useful there. Okay, it can be extremely useful as long as you don't have some sort of lactose intolerance issue to the powder you're using or whatever. And some protein powders are more suitable than others for people in those situations. But I'm a big fan of dairy in general. I think dairy protein is extremely useful. I'm a big fan of dairy. It's across the board. Okay. In the world we live in, you can get tons of lactose-free, high-quality dairy, so the lactose intolerance card doesn't work. It's just not an excuse today. So that being said, yeah, protein powders. All right, beyond that, I really only recommend a handful of things. I am a big fan of melatonin if you struggle with sleep issues. Because if you're not getting adequate sleep, I would say melatonin is probably about the most anabolic thing you can get over the counter. Why? Because besides protein, what's anabolic? Sleep. Sleep, anything that improves sleep quality. My God, it's magical for muscle growth and even fat loss. High quality sleep. So if that's a struggle for you and you're trying to get your sleep hygiene on point, melatonin can be a useful supplement. In my experience, don't dose it too high. Okay, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. When you start getting to high doses, I find maybe 3 milligrams is kind of about my sweet spot for me. I've used 10, I've used 30, I've done some of these crazy protocols. Guess what? Less is more in this. This is a case where that one little cheap 3 milligram melatonin before bed can work wonders. Okay. I think vitamin D3 plus K2. Notice I don't like just D. I think D3 is wonderful. I want to be clear. I think D3 is wonderful. There is some data showing D3 by itself can create further problems downstream that are offset by K2. The combination is really, really good. Vitamin K2 helps with hardening of the arteries, atherosclerosis, lipid profile. Okay. And you need to be aware of that because, in theory, D3, while great for your bones, great for hormone profile, all this other stuff, can, in theory, cause potential calcification of the arteries if vitamin K isn't sufficient. Well, vitamin K2 knocks that out. It's been shown to have various cardiac health benefits. Okay, those two together, fantastic combination. Fantastic. Creatine, plain old normal cheap creatine monohydrate. Just about the only supplement that's ever been found to actually help with muscle growth or performance. And it's a very small amount. It's tiny, but it is there. It's very cheap. And again, let's talk about health. It's been linked to cognitive benefits. All right? That's an easy one. Just use it. And no, you shouldn't be seeing benefits from it. If you're noticing them, they're probably placebo. It's not that strong. But it's cheap, especially the cheapest form, creatine monohydrate, which has been found to be the most easily absorbed in the lab. Okay? Cheap, it's easy. All right, fish oil. I'm a big fan of omega-3 fats. We know that even in small quantities, they can have very pronounced health benefits. In theory, maybe small muscle gain benefits, but I have always found that to be skeptical and mixed data on that. I wouldn't take that to the bank. Right? But as far as overall lipid profile health, again, cognitive function, fish oil. Okay, fish oil. Be useful. Be real useful. I recommend it. Okay, so let's come over of saying what are the ones that I think most people should take. Again, the protein and melatonin are kind of optional. I think D3 plus K2, fish oil, creatine. I think that's your money. I think that should be kind of a staple for everyone who trains and just wants to be healthy and fit. I think that's your combo. I don't believe in multivitamins. I don't believe in pre-workouts. I don't believe in any of that stuff. But I think that little 4 combo stack right there, I think will help with your health. It'll help with your recovery. I think it's useful and it's something everyone should consider. Plus, it is dirt cheap. That will cost you literal pennies a day. And I think that's an important point in this economy also. Okay, nobody's getting rich selling it to you. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, it's effective, it's healthy. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.